You're listening to the Hardcore Underground Show with Fracus and Darwin.
Absolutely no messing about this month. You're in tune with Fracus and Darwin. This is the Hardcore Underground Show, episode 6. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show. And we're kicking things off with this, brand new from Chris Fear. This is Dance, out now on Core Fever.
And direct. This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
So as usual, loads of upfront music for you this month, and we've got a guest as well.
Yes, we have the almighty Joey Riot.
So we'll be catching up with him in a little while, interview styly, and we've got a bit of a guest mix as well. In the meantime, there are loads of upfront music. You are in tune with Fracus and Darwin. Going to be taking you through for the next 35-40 minutes, and we'll catch you after this.
Are now in tune to Fracus and Darwin.
Let's make this fleeting moment last forever. So tell me what you're waiting for. I'm gonna keep it frozen here forever. There's no regretting anymore. It's worth the wait, even so far away. I'm making the night mine until the day I die. No light to break when you're hanging by fate. You know what it feels like when you're dancing blind. All alone, just the beat inside my soul. Take me home, where my dreams are made of gold. In the zone, where the beat is uncontrolled. I know what it feels like, come on, make me feel alive.
You're listening to the Hardcore Underground Podcast with Fracus and Darwin.
Come on, make me feel alive.
Well, it wouldn't be the Hardcore Underground Podcast if I didn't ask you how you were, would it? Oh, I've had a nightmare train journey.
No, actually, I'm alright. It's just, I don't know, there's nothing wrong. There's actually nothing wrong this one.
Another red-eye evening this evening. Oh my God. favourite of ours over the last few months. That's Ryan Core and Chaos, Finally Found. No release details for that just yet though. You're in tune to Fracas and Darwin. This is the HU Podcast, episode 6. It's at Fracas and at Nick Darwin if you want to get in touch on Twitter.
Meet me under shining lights. I've been waiting right here all my life. Feeling you can't deny that you live in. Open up your eyes, and I just wanna sink into your crazy laughter. Come on, make me feel it till the pain don't matter. Every second here makes my heart beat faster. Finally think about what I'm chasing after.
So if you haven't listened to the show before, basically we just play a load of upfront music, not just our own though,
And talk.
and just see,
I don't think we talk that much. I think you talk more than I do.
I do have a case of.
But you sound better. I think you sound better.
I don't really like the sound of my own voice, but I find it impossible to stop at the same time.
You are now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
So what's the big news?
The big news, our event on May the 30th. We are mixing the next Hardcore Underground album live at the Rehab Warehouse in Coventry, the biggest event we've done so far. It's a 4-CD album, Alex Prospect, Joey Riot, ourselves, Entity, Scott Brown, Al Storm, Mark Smith, Chris Fear, WizKid, Watsy, huge MC lineup too. We've got Obi, Mayhem, we've got Reese over from the US as well, and Friction, so it's going to be an interesting project. And we've also got as many of the other names in hardcore as we can fit on.
The lineup is live. Go and check it out.
It's hardcoreunderground.co.uk, obviously, or you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/HULTD official.
This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again.
Right, so So where can people get tickets?
So tickets for the event, they'll be on the ticket sellers. Well, they are on the ticket sellers. Early birds on there now, as usual. But if you want to pre-order the album itself that's getting mixed, you can actually do that cheaper. It's going to be cheaper for the CD and for the ticket if you buy them together on our store now at hardcoreunderground.co.uk. And the album will be available on its own for people overseas later on as well.
This is one of my tracks.
Another collaboration with the very talented Skinny.
Yes, this is Skinny and Darwin, Over and Over, and it's actually coming out on a free album called Past, Present and Future, isn't it?
It's to do with happyhardcore.com, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be on there unmixed, you charitable duo, you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that, happyhardcore.com. You have a look on the forums there and they'll be able to fill you in.
To the Hardcore Underground podcast with Fracas and Darwin.
Moving into this now, this drops on Beatport exclusively on March the 14th. Brand new Scott Browning featuring MC Mallorca Lee of Ultrasonic fame. This is Resurgence. General release follows on the 28th of March. That's on iTunes. Track it down on the other sites as well. You're in tune to Fracas and Darwin on the HU show.
Are now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
So we've had a busy month, Nicholas.
Busy. How many gigs did we do this month? 5,
7.
Six.
I don't feel like we've had much sleep, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Between that and the studio. But yeah, shout out to everybody we've seen out and about. It's been good actually. We've caught up with quite a few people. We've been in Bristol, we've been in Cornwall, we've been in Birmingham,
Manchester.
Oh, we spent Valentine's Day together, didn't we? At Bowler's. That was mega, like 750 people or something like that.
Very, very, very tidy event.
It kind of made up for the fact that our Valentine's Day was spent in the car together on the M6. our respective partners must have been so jealous.
This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Darren Styles and Gamma, HOA.
Out later this week on Future World. Does it mean heads of agreement? I don't know.
Don't know.
Ask them. I have to ask them.
It sounds good though.
Yeah, definitely feeling this.
You're listening to the Hardcore Underground Show with Fracus and Darwin.
Darren Styles and Gamma, HOA, out this week on Future World Records. Part of an EP release, 3 other great tracks there as well. Go check that out.
Baby, you're the source of all my strength. Take me from the darker place and into the sunlight. You're the pain and the hardest times. You is my worries and make my life so bright.
right now. This is brisk and technical, Into the Sunlight. Titled A Night Like This. This is the Fracas remix. Check it out.
Yeah, still maybe got a few tweaks to make to this, as always, but let us know what you think anyway.
You are now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
Touch me, I want you, 'cause like I've always known you.
this month, isn't it, for the podcast?
It's technically, well, it's been recorded on the 28th of February, so it is the February podcast.
So the February podcast will be out in March, but the March podcast will be out in March.
It is February, so, you know, we're perfectly within our rights to call this the February podcast, and we haven't missed a month, so go away. Don't go away, actually, stay, do stay.
Getting closer to you, hold me. I just can't be without you. You kiss me, I'm falling. It's your name I'm calling. You touch me, I want you. It's like I've always known you. On a night like this, I wanna stay forever. On a night like this, just wanna be
my remix of Darts, A Night Like This. Forthcoming, I think he's got an artist album coming. That's Dave Darts. Shout out to all the Stomp crew. I suppose we'll let you know if there's some more news on that album over the next couple of months. You're in tune to Fracas and Darwin. This is the HU podcast.
Now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
In the background now, the Fracas and Darwin remix of Demo, Ham and Time. Here I am.
It was just in time, Demo and Ham, I'm sure it was.
Alright, well, whatever order those three people went in, that was our
leading on to the...
We can announce the Happy Hardcore Underground is incoming. It's going to be 3 CDs, 1 CD of entirely unmixed stuff that people have been badgering us for. There's also going to be 2 mixed CDs, one mixed by Vibes and Quinny, which is going to be interesting. Loads of sort of upfront remixes of Happy Hardcore stuff, new Happy Hardcore styly tunes, retro influence bits, and also Banana Man and DJ Storm, which is basically Al, but we have to kind of, he's got his DJ Storm hat on.
Here is where
Happy Hardcore Underground is the album where you'll finally be able to pick that and a load of other stuff that we've failed miserably to release over the last couple of years. Mainly your remixes, to be honest. You've got like loads and loads of Happy Hardcore things.
I forgot about most of them.
There's things like our remix of JDS, High Love and stuff that are on there. And there's a load of stuff people haven't heard. But yeah, more news on that soon, so keep checking the website and ting.
This is a little number by DJ Rescue titled Technical Difficulties.
Another man with an album on the way, more news of which very soon.
I'm sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Scheduled programming will resume shortly after some tests. Testing kick. Testing bass. Synchronizing. All tests successful. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Now we're rocking. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand. Please stand. Please stand. Please stand. Now we're rocking.
Is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Experiencing some technical difficulties. Scheduled programming will resume shortly after some tests. Testing kick. Testing bass. Synchronizing. All tests successful. Please stand by. Now we're rocking.
As always, we try to represent everything on the show. Ended with something a little bit tougher there from DJ Rescue. Track entitled Technical Difficulties, forthcoming album material. We're going to be back up with Joey Riot's interview and a guest mix in just a few moments' time. You're in tune to Fracus and Darwin. This is the HU Podcast, Episode 6.
Now we're rocking.
You're listening to the Hardcore Underground Show with Fracus and Darwin.
Right, it's guest time again. So in the studio this month, we've got Joey Riot. How are you, sir?
Very well. How are you guys?
We're very well.
Not too bad. Bit up close and personal, this, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It is cozy.
Hope everybody's showered. Nice. Welcome to the HU Podcast. Got a few questions to ask you about what you've been up to and gigs you've been playing and stuff. But first of all, the Power Stomp album. And the Power Stomp movement.
Which is doing very well.
It's doing very well, thanks to working with you guys very closely. We've got to sell out the first press, and yes, in record time as well. And it's only been released 3 months, and to sell that many copies and do that well is absolutely amazing. So we're buzzing, and thank you to everybody who bought the album.
So the movement's obviously gathering a bit of pace as well. Not just yourselves, but there's like more producers kind of jumping on it, especially some of the youngsters and stuff. We get stuff sent through that says Power Stomp, remix and stuff like that. Is it starting to sort of filter through into the parties, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were a bit worried when we did coin the phrase Power Stomp that it would kind of inhibit the music and another subgenre within hardcore, but we've started incorporating other sounds that we other styles of music, and the sound's really grown, and it's quite unrecognisable for the first stuff we were putting out, which was really kind of hardstyle based. And new producers are jumping on there and getting some interesting stuff, and that's why the sound's grown, because other people are starting to make it now, which is giving it a bit of longevity. So it's exciting times for the sound.
So the album obviously did really well, but you've got some more projects coming up album wise in the next few months. Do you want to tell us about them? What's happening?
Yeah, I'll tell you about them if you want.
Saves me a job.
Yeah, we've got Lethal Theory Classics album, which has been in the pipeline for a bit, but we are ready to go with that, and that will be out in April through HU again. So big up to you guys for helping us out with that.
And have you found that difficult to kind of narrow down what's going on there? Because it's been quite a few years now since you started the label, hasn't it?
Actually, I was going to say, how many tracks have Lethal Theory released?
I don't know. I just couldn't even count.
Loads,
hundreds.
Sub-labels as well. You've got the Raw label.
Yeah. I mean, that's another project that'll be forthcoming, the Lethal Theory Raw album. And it's just to try and, the great thing about the albums is we can get, a lot of tracks out at once, and there's been so much stuff that's sitting there unreleased at the minute, and it's just difficult to get them all out as single releases on a digital format. So the albums where we can put out, 30 plus tracks is a great way to get a lot of music out there at once that people have been after for a long time. So yeah, but going through them all, the back catalogue and stuff has been an absolute nightmare, to be honest. But it's going to be a good album, so I'm looking forward to what people think about it.
You mentioned there the new talent and the Lethal Theory Raw thing. Obviously you've got people like Alex that you've signed this year. I mean, is there anybody else? Because you guys have always been quite supportive of having like the people you have in for engineering. You quite often release their stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's coming out with the Lethal Theory Classics album. We've got the DJ No Sweats album, which will be coming out, and that's called The High Grade. He's been in the studio, and I've been engineering tracks with him. He's had a lot of great ideas, and that'll be a double album that'll be coming out along with it. So yeah, we're supporting new artists, and we're doing stuff like that, and as well as signing people to the label and working closely with them, we're working with up and coming DJs and trying to get their music released as well.
And also we were going to ask you about the Gabba thing, because you've obviously been doing quite a lot with the Destructive Tendencies side of things. I keep noticing you tweet about Anger Fists sort of chatting to you, and you're doing remixes for some of the biggest names, Party Razor and people like that. I mean,
it's going crazy, man.
So for the people that don't know, who's involved in Destructive Tendencies?
That's myself, Darklight and DMR, two kind of Manchester-based DJs who used to run. Well, they do run quarantine events, and I became resident for them, and then we started working together in the studio. We kind of struck up an affinity, and we started Destructive Tendencies working together. I mean, the guys are really immersed in that scene, so helping me with the production side and gearing more towards that sound. They've always played that sound, but they've really kind of narrowed it down, and they helped with the promotion and pushed us as a collective, and it's went crazy in the last. I mean, it was only 2 years ago we released our first track, and we've had every release we've had went to number one on Hard Tunes, and we're remixing some of the biggest names. We're just remixing Dimmy and Mad Dog. I'm doing a remix for Anger Fist. There's just so much happening at the minute, and we're playing all over the world, taking a huge event.
That was going to be my next question, because you've just been over and done a couple of festivals or something. Or last weekend. I mean, how do the parties differ? Obviously, I've seen them as a raver, but to play it, they're huge, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's like 10,000 plus the last 2 weekends. Played in Holland and in Germany, and both parties are absolutely insane. It's a new challenge for me. You're obviously going out there to a crowd who've no idea who I am. I'm used to going out at the weekend and people come up like, oh, you're Joey Riot. Like, I had people coming up last week and, oh, hey, you're Destructive Tendencies, and I'm like, no, I'm Joey. Oh yeah, I am Destructive Tendencies. So that's a bit bizarre, but it's great. It's the challenge of going on stage in front of a crowd that have not really got an idea of who you are, and the promoters are kind of putting that faith in us, and then we have to go out and prove ourselves, and we really have been doing that. So the feedback when we come off stage has just been phenomenal, and we're buzzing about the Destructive Tendencies at the moment.
So before we go into the little guest mix, just want to say you've just announced a residency today, haven't you? A London residency.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've got 2 residencies that are announced today. The first one is the guest mix that I've done, and that's to promote my residency, I Love Hard Beats, which is in London. You guys are playing there as well.
Yeah, that is tonight. We try not to date these podcasts and stuff. Obviously, by the time you've heard it, the party would have happened. But that's
I just love the direction the guys are going in, and how you, as a DJ, rather than a producer, I can go down there and play anything I want that I think is good music, and the crowd will react to it. So it's great to be, working closely with these guys. And I'm also just been announced as residents for Hardcore Resurrection, based down in Torquay, which is the same night as I Love Heartbeats. So 2 residencies kicking off the same night. It's exciting, man.
It's good stuff. And I know they do everything at I Love Heartbeats anyway, but there's a lot of the freeform artists play down there that maybe don't play other places. You've done a few freeform bits as well. I saw you talking about it.
I've just done I've done a track that's on the new Stamina Records album. I've always loved freeform, and it's just finding the time, to make all these different styles of music. And now I'm more involved with the I Love Heartbeats crew. I'm definitely going to be writing some more freeform and getting that out there.
All right, well, this is the HU podcast. Joey, thanks for your time, mate. And we're going to go into the guest mix now.
Live and direct. This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Lethal Theory. Creating the future. Joey Riot.
This is a Dreamcast disc. Playing this disc on any ordinary equipment can cause serious damage to your speakers. Please stop this disc now.
This is the HU show. You're in tune with this month's guest, Joey Riot, in the mix right now.
Please stop this disc now.
I just wanna be sick. I just wanna be dangerous. I just wanna be a disco bitch. I just wanna be corrupting. I just wanna be sick. I just wanna be a disco bitch.
You're in tune to DJ Joey Riot in the mix on the Hardcore Underground podcast.
I just wanna be a disco.
again, tell them that you like that. Like that shit again, tell them 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 that shit again. Tell them that you like that. DJ turn it up. DJ bring it back. DJ turn it up. Tell them that you like that.
This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
You like that. DJ turn it up. DJ turn it up. Play that shit again, tell them. You like that.
In the background now, you're in tune with this month's guest, DJ Joey Riot on the HU Show.
When night has become the day, they're sending you far away, so, so far away. When everything starts to fade, you don't have to be afraid. No, you don't have to be afraid. Take my hand and real. This is real. That's what we are made of. Yes, we
is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Then I reached out for your hand. There was no reasoning that I could understand. You opened up another door. You showed me that this life's worth fighting for. And it's all down to
I'm the cook.
What up, biatch?
I'm the cook. I'm the cook. I'm the cook.
Yes, science!
I'm the cook. I'm the cook. I'm the cook. Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger. I am the danger. I am the danger.
Speak into the mic, bitch!
I'm the cook, bitch. I'm the cook, bitch. I'm the cook. I'm the cook. Goddamn right.
Coming to the end again.
Oh, it goes so quickly, doesn't it? Never mind. Many thanks to Joe Wright for the guest mix in the interview. This has been the HU Podcast, episode 6.
Bitch!
We'll be back next month, as always, with another guest and loads of upfront music from ourselves as well. It's www.hardcoreunderground.co.uk.
Goddamn right.
Don't forget, if you do want to get in touch, we're both on Facebook, and you can hit us up on Twitter as well. It's @Frackers and @NickDarwin.
Bitch!
Also @HULTD Official, that's on Facebook and on Twitter as well. And like I said, hardcoreunderground.co.uk for our store. We'll catch you next time. See you later.
Actually, I'm alright. It's just, I don't know, there's nothing wrong. There's actually nothing wrong with this one.
Another red eye evening this evening. Oh my god. Definitely a favourite of ours over the last few months. That's Ryan Core and Chaos, Finally Found. No release details for that just yet though. You're in tune to Fracas and Darwin. This is the HU Podcast, episode 6. It's @Fracas and @NickDarwin if you want to get in touch on Twitter. So if you haven't listened to the show before, basically we just play a load of upfront music, not just our own though,
And talk.
and just see,
I don't think we talk that much. I think you talk more than I do.
I do have a case of.
But you sound better. I think you sound better.
I don't really like the sound of my own voice, but I find it impossible to stop at the same time.
are now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
So what's the big news?
The big news, our event on May the 30th. We are mixing the next Hardcore Underground album live at the Rehab Warehouse in Coventry, the biggest event we've done so far. It's a 4-CD album, Alex Prospect, Joey Riot, ourselves, Entity, Scott Brown, Al Storm, Mark Smith, Chris Fear, WizKid, Watsy, huge MC lineup too. We've got Obi, Mayhem, we've got Reese over from the US as well, and Friction, so it's going to be an interesting project. And we've also got as many of the other...
You are now in tune to Fracas and Darwin.
You're waiting for, I'm gonna keep it frozen here forever. There's no regretting anymore. It's slipped away, even so far away. I'm making the night mine until the day I die. No light to break when you're hanging by fate. You know what it feels like when you're dancing blind. All alone, just a beat inside my soul. Take me home, where my dreams are made of gold. In the zone, where the beat is uncontrolled. I know what it feels like, come on, make me feel alive.
Listening to the Hardcore Underground podcast with Fracas and Darwin.
Come on, make me feel alive.
Well, it wouldn't be the Hardcore Underground podcast if I didn't ask you how you were, would it? Oh, I've had a nightmare train journey.
No!
Names in hardcore we can fit on.
The lineup is live. Go and check it out.
It's hardcoreunderground.co.uk, obviously, or you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/HULTD official.
This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again.
Right, so where can people get tickets?
So tickets for the event, they'll be on the ticket sellers. Well, they are on the ticket sellers. Early birds on there now, as usual. But if you want to pre-order the album itself that's getting mixed, you can actually do that cheaper. It's going to be cheaper for the CD and for the ticket if you buy them together on our store now at hardcoreunderground.co.uk. And the album will be available on its own for people overseas later on as well. Another collaboration with the very talented Skinny.
Yes, this is Skinny and...
You're listening to the Hardcore Underground Show with Fracas and Darwin.
Absolutely no messing about this month. You're in tune with Fracas and Darwin. This is the Hardcore Underground Show, episode 6. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show. And we're kicking things off with this, brand new from Chris Fear. This is Dance, out now on Core Fever.
And direct. This is the Hardcore Underground Show.
So as usual, loads of upfront music for you this month, and we've got a guest as well.
Yes, we have the almighty Joey Riot.
So we'll be catching up with him in a little while, interview styly, and we've got a bit of a guest mix as well. In the meantime, there are loads of upfront music. You are in tune with Fracas and Darwin, going to be taking you through for the next 35-40 minutes, and we'll catch you after this.